There is a silence that feels heavier than any noise. It is the silence that falls at 3 in the morning, when the house is completely dark and you are wide awake. You look at the ceiling wondering if anyone is listening. Chosen one, have you felt that silence lately? Not a quiet peace, but a heavy, stony quiet where every prayer you speak feels like it bounces back. You look at the empty spaces in your life, the empty chair at the table, the phone that no longer rings with familiar names, the dreams you spent years building now lying in pieces on the floor. It feels like a collapse, doesn't it, chosen one? You feel the ache in your chest. You wonder if you made a mistake, or if God has simply turned his face away. I know how tired you are. I know how exhausting it is to hold on to hope when there is absolutely nothing to see. You keep a brave face for the world. You tell everyone you are fine, chosen one. But in the dark, the tears are quiet and hot. You feel the weight of a silent heaven, and you wonder how much longer you can stand. But chosen one, I need to tell you a secret about the dark. The silence is not what it seems. It is not the quiet of a grave. It is the quiet of a building site where the master builder is working. When an architect is designing a palace, he does not make noise in the streets. He works in the quiet room drafting the blueprint. You were guided to this message for a reason. God saw you in the quiet room. He saw your tears, chosen one, and he wants you to hear this truth. Stay with me, because what we are about to uncover will change the way you see your silence forever. Let us speak honestly about the quiet moments, the times you stand in the kitchen staring out the window. The world outside is busy and moving forward. People are celebrating, buying houses, getting promoted. But you are standing in the quiet, chosen one. You feel stuck in a place that feels like a prison. You remember the friendships that suddenly went cold, the people who walked away when you needed them most. The pain of those empty spaces is deep. You wonder why God let them leave. Chosen one, those tears you wept in secret were not missed by heaven. They were collected by the one who is preparing to rebuild. It is a frightening thing to feel left behind. You look at your life and see no progress. The years are passing, chosen one, and the dreams you had in your youth feel like ancient history now. You ask yourself if you missed your turn, if you made a wrong choice that ruined the plan. But I want you to look closely at the stagnation. It is not a dead end. It is a forced pause, a holy stop, where God is letting the dust settle, because you cannot build a palace on shifting ground. Chosen one, the isolation you feel is not a punishment. It is a divine quarantine. God has pulled you back from the crowd. He has closed the doors that you tried so hard to open. He did it because the people you wanted to build with were not equipped to live in the palace. He is preparing. He isolated you to protect your spirit. He isolated you to break the addiction to human approval. In the quiet, He is teaching you to lean on Him alone, so that when the wind blows and the storms come, your foundation will be anchored in the rock and not in the shifting sands of human opinions. Pruning is a painful process, chosen one. It feels like rejection. It feels like you are being cut down to the roots. When the branches are stripped away, the tree looks dead. It looks like a failure. But the vine dresser knows what he is doing. He is not cutting to destroy you. He is cutting to save the strength of the tree. He's removing the dead weight that would drain your life. Chosen one, the loss you experienced was the blade of the Father, clearing the path for a growth you cannot yet conceive. You carry a seal that the world cannot see. Chosen one, it is the seal of a chosen vessel. It is why you could never fit in. It is why the things that satisfy others never satisfied you. You were made for something deeper, and the long silence you are enduring is the seasoning of your soul. Gold is not refined in comfort. It is refined in the heat and silence of the furnace. Chosen one, your calling is real. The silence you are in is the proof that God is preparing you for a weight of glory. Let us make a declaration of faith right now. I want you to pause and write in the comments, "I trust your silence, Lord." Write it not just as words, chosen one. Write it as a covenant. Let the angels witness that even when you cannot hear him, you still believe in his promise. By typing these words, you are aligning your spirit with the blueprint of heaven. You are saying, "Lord, I let go of my cottage. Build what you will. I am waiting on you, chosen one." Have you ever wondered why God takes so much time? If he is all-powerful, why does he not answer you instantly? He could heal you in a second. He could open the doors of your career with a single breath. But instead, he makes you wait. He makes you take slow, painful steps through the fog. This is because God is not interested in quick fixes. He is interested in building character. A mushroom can grow overnight in damp soil, chosen one. But a giant oak tree requires decades of wind and rain to plant its roots deep. You are not a mushroom. You are an oak tree, and your slow growth is by design. C.S. Lewis, the brilliant Oxford scholar and Christian thinker, understood this deeply. He was a man who spent years in his own silent seasons struggling to understand God's timing. In his classic book, The Problem of Pain, he wrestled with this exact question. He looked at his own life, at his long delays and failures, chosen one, and he realized that God's slow methods are not a sign of neglect. They are a sign of his highest respect for us. Lewis wrote about how the creator of the universe chooses to work. He explained that God deliberately steps back, allowing us to participate in our own development, even when it is messy, even when we feel like we are failing. This is why the wait you are in is so critical, chosen one. Chosen one, listen carefully to these profound words that Lewis wrote. They will change the way you look at your daily struggles. Lewis wrote, "He seems to do nothing of himself which he can possibly delegate to his creatures. He commands us to do slowly and blunderingly what he could do perfectly and in the twinkling of an eye." Let those words sink into your spirit today. He commands us to do slowly and blunderingly. This means your mistakes are not surprises to God. Your slow progress is not a disappointment to him. He could do it perfectly in a second, chosen one, but he chooses to let you grow through the struggle. Think about what this means for your life right now, chosen one. You feel like you are blundering. You feel like you are taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. You look at your family, your work, your spiritual walk, and you see only slow, clumsy progress. But God is delegating this work to you because he wants to build your spiritual muscles. If he did everything for you instantly, you would remain a child. You would have no strength of your own, no resilience, no history of faith. The waiting years are the gymnasium of your soul, chosen one. Every time you choose to trust him when it is dark, you are lifting a spiritual weight and you are growing stronger. Chosen one, you must realize that you are not the same person you were. The long years of silence have changed you. They've stripped away your shallow confidence. They have forced you to find a deeper source of life. You no longer rely on human applause or immediate results. You have learned to stand on his word alone. This is the strength that God wanted to build in you. It is a delegated strength. It is his power working through your blundering steps. So do not despise the slowness of this season, chosen one. Do not compare your progress to others. You are building a foundation strong enough to support a significant calling, and that takes time. Imagine an architect sitting in a quiet, locked room. Outside, the streets are noisy and busy, but inside the room there is only silence. The architect is staring at a blank piece of paper. He is drawing lines, measuring angles, calculating weights. To an outside observer, nothing is happening. No bricks are being laid, no walls are rising. But in reality, the most important work is being done. The blueprint is being created. Without this silence, the building would collapse, chosen one. Right now, you are that piece of paper, and God is the architect drawing the plans. The silence you are experiencing is the quiet of the design studio, chosen one. The quiet room you find yourself in is not a prison. It is a sacred drafting table. When God wants to do a new thing, He always starts in the dark. He did it in Genesis, when the earth was formless and void. He did it in the womb, where you were fearfully and wonderfully made. And He's doing it now in your life. He has closed the door to the noise of the world. He has silenced the opinions of others. He did this so that He could speak to you directly. He wants His voice to be the loudest voice in your life, chosen one. So embrace the quiet room. It is where the blueprint of your future is being finalized. But why does the blueprint require so much demolition, chosen one? Why did your plans have to fall apart? Why did that business fail or that relationship end? It is because you were trying to build a new life on an old foundation. You were trying to fit God's palace into your cottage. The structures you built in your own strength were too small. They could not hold the weight of the glory He wants to give you. So He had to knock them down. He had to strip away the comforts that were keeping you small. It was not because He was angry with you. It was because He loved you too much to let you settle for a mud pie when He was preparing a feast. I know it hurts to watch things break, chosen one. It is terrifying to see the walls of your security crumble. You look at the ruins of your old life and you feel a deep ache. You wonder if you will ever rebuild. You feel exposed, unprotected and cold. But I want you to look closer at the ruins. The dust you see is not the dust of destruction. It is the dust of preparation. The old walls had to fall so that the boundaries could be expanded. The old supports had to go so that the pillars of His grace could be put in place. Do not fear the noise of the hammer, chosen one. The builder is in control, and He knows exactly what He is doing. Chosen one, you must understand that some removals are sovereign. They were not caused by the enemy. They were not caused by your mistakes. Some of them were allowed by the sovereign hand of God. If He had not removed that person from your life, you would have stayed bound. If He had not closed that door, you would have walked into a trap. His removal was an act of mercy, not judgment. He saw the hidden motives. He saw the future storms that would have destroyed you, and He stepped in to save you. So stop mourning what He took away, chosen one. If it truly belonged to your destiny, it could not be permanently lost. Trust His sovereign hand, even when it takes. If you could see what God was doing in the background, you would weep with gratitude. Chosen one, you only see the closed door, but God saw the fire on the other side of that door. You only see the person who left, but God saw the betrayal they were planning in secret. He cleared the field so that He could protect you. He pulled you out of the line of fire. This is the mystery of the silent season. It is a shield of protection. He is hiding you under the shadow of His wings until the danger passes. You are safe in His hiddenness, chosen one. Do not try to force open the doors He has locked. Think of your life right now as an arrow in a bow, chosen one. You feel like you are being pulled backward. You feel tension, pressure and strain. Everything is moving away from the target. You are losing ground. You feel the pull in your finances, your relationships, your health. You want to cry out, "Lord, let me go." But the archer knows what he is doing. The farther back the arrow is drawn, the faster and farther it can fly when released. The tension is not meant to break you, chosen one. It is meant to launch you. Hold steady in the hand of the archer. The release is coming, and you will hit the target perfectly. Chosen one. I need to pause for just one moment right here. We are moving into the deepest parts of this message. And if what you have heard so far has resonated with your spirit, if you feel the heavy truth of these words in your chest, I want you to make a declaration of faith. Do not just listen passively. Participate in this holy moment. Go to the comments below and type these simple words, I am ready. Write it in all capital letters. By writing this, you are telling the atmosphere and you are telling your own heart that you are ready for the rebuild, you are ready for the palace. Chosen one, when you type those words, do not see them as merely a comment on a screen. See it as a seal on a covenant. You are declaring to the heavenly realms that you trust the architect. You are saying, Lord, I do not understand the blueprint, but I agree to the construction. I authorize you to knock down whatever must fall, and I choose to wait for what you will build. This is a powerful step of faith, chosen one. It breaks the spirit of fear and complaint that tries to take over in the silence. So type it now, I am ready. Let your declaration stand in the spirit world as a monument of your trust. In the Gospel of John, chapter 15, Jesus gives us a beautiful and profound picture of this process. He describes himself as the true vine, chosen one, and he describes his Father as the vine dresser. He says, every branch in me that does not bear fruit he takes away, and every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Think about the vine dresser walking through the vineyard in the quiet morning. He is looking closely at the branches. He knows the potential of each one. Chosen one, he carries a sharp blade in his hand. He does not look at the vine with anger. He looks at it with love and with a vision for the harvest. The vine dresser approaches the branch that is already green and growing, chosen one, and then he does something that looks like destruction. He lifts the blade and cuts the branch. He cuts away pieces that look healthy. He cuts away the extra leaves and the wild shoots. To an untrained eye, it looks like he is harming the plant. It looks like he is punishing it. But the vine dresser knows that if he does not cut the branch, will waste its energy growing wild leaves instead of sweet grapes. The pruning is not a rejection of the branch. It is an investment in its future. The cuts are made with perfect precision. Chosen one. The vine dresser never cuts without purpose. Chosen one, you must understand the difference between a cut and a wound. The enemy wants to wound you. He wants to chop down the tree at the roots so that it never grows again. But the Father is pruning you. He's using a clean, sharp instrument of love. The blade is in the hand of the Father, not the hand of your enemies. So when you feel the sharp pain of loss, when you feel the sting of isolation, do not cry out as if you are being destroyed. You are being shaped. The pruning is the proof of your value. The vine dresser only prunes the branches that have potential. Chosen one. If he had not care about your harvest, he would leave you wild and overgrown. Let us speak about the relationships that were cut away, chosen one. You had friends who suddenly stopped calling. You had circles where you were suddenly no longer welcome. You felt the cold shoulder of rejection. You wondered what you did wrong to cause the distance. But the truth is, you did nothing wrong. The Father saw that those connections were draining your spiritual sap. They were pulling you back into old habits, old ways of thinking, and old standards. They were keeping you in the cottage, chosen one. So the Father stepped in with the pruning shears. He cut the ties to protect your future. He cleared the branches so that you could lift your head and grow toward the light. I know the cut still aches. Even when we understand the theology, the physical sting remains, chosen one. It is hard to walk past the places where you used to belong and feel like a stranger. It is hard to look at your empty phone and feel the quiet weight of loneliness. Your feelings are valid. The pain is real. God does not expect you to pretend it does not hurt. Jesus wept at the grave of Lazarus, even when he knew he was about to raise him. The Father knows you are bleeding from the cuts, chosen one. He does not ignore your pain. He's right there in the quiet room holding you close while the wound heals. Chosen one, hear this decree over your life today. The bareness you see is temporary. The empty spaces on your branches are not signs of death. They are signs of preparation for a fruitfulness that will shock you. You have been cleared of the clutter. You have been cleared of the distractions. And now you are ready. The Father has cleared the way for an abundant harvest of peace, joy, and purpose. You will bear fruit that remains, chosen one. You will carry a presence that heals others. The season of being stripped is coming to an end. The season of blooming is next, and it will be glorious. Look at the trees in the middle of winter, chosen one. They look dead. They have no leaves, no flowers, and no fruit. They stand naked and grey against the freezing wind. But underneath the frozen ground, deep in the dark soil, the roots are alive and working. They are drinking water. They are storing nutrients. They are preparing for the spring. The winter is not a waste of time. It is the season of secret strength. You are in your spiritual winter right now, chosen one. Your branches are bare, but your roots are growing deeper into God than they have ever been. Hold on. Spring is on the way. Chosen one, let us return to the words of C.S. Lewis. He wrote a metaphor in Mere Christianity that has comforted millions of believers going through painful transformations. Lewis asked us to look at our lives as if we were a house that has been bought by a new owner. At first, you think you know what the owner is doing, chosen one. You think he's just repairing the roof. You think he's fixing the leaks in the pipes. Those are the easy, small repairs you expected. But then something changes. You feel the walls of your life shaking. You hear the sound of heavy boots walking through your corridors. And you realize this is not a small repair job, chosen one. Here is what Lewis wrote about this shaking. Listen to these words and let them bring clarity to the chaos you are experiencing. He wrote, "Imagine yourself as a living house. God comes in to rebuild that house. At first, perhaps, you can understand what he is doing. He's getting the drains right and stopping the leaks. But presently, he starts knocking the house about in a way that hurts abominably and does not seem to make sense. What on earth is he up to? The explanation is that he's building quite a different house from the one you thought of. He is building quite a different house. Chosen one, quite a different house. Let us apply this directly to the blows you are feeling, chosen one. Why does it hurt so abominably right now? It is because God is knocking down the walls of your comfort zones. He's pulling down the old chimney of your pride. He's ripping up the rotten floorboards of your old dependencies. You thought he was just going to patch up your small cottage, making you a slightly better version of your old self. But instead, he is dragging you through a painful demolition. He is knocking the house about, and it feels like ruin. But he is doing it because the blueprint he has for your life is far larger than the one you drew for yourself. Chosen one. You wanted a cozy little cottage, a quiet life where you could be comfortable, safe, and unseen. You wanted just enough blessings to get by. But God looked at you and said, "No, I did not choose you to live in a cottage. I chose you to host my glory, and to host my glory, you must become a palace." He's putting in new wings, chosen one. He's building high towers that reach the sky. He is laying down deep foundations capable of carrying lasting weight. He is making room for his own presence to dwell. The blows you are feeling are the sounds of a palace being built. So do not cry out for him to stop the hammer. He is just making room for the king. Construction sites are not quiet, chosen one. They are full of dust, noise, and confusion. When you walk past a building that is being rebuilt, you see heaps of rubble. You see broken glass and torn down walls. You see caution tape and signs of danger. It looks like a disaster. And that is exactly what your life looks like to the outside world right now. People look at you and wonder why everything collapsed. They wonder why you are so quiet. But do not let the dust deceive you, chosen one. The mess is not the end, it is the middle. The demolition is the necessary first step of the glory that is to follow. Chosen one, the builder, has not abandoned the site. He is not leaving you in ruins. The architect himself is going to live in this house. You are not being rebuilt to be sold or rented to others. You are being rebuilt for his personal habitation. You will host the presence of the living God. And because he is the king, the house must be fit for a king. Chosen one, your spirit is being expanded to hold a weight of authority that a cottage could never support. So, hold on to the promise. The architect is on site, and he will finish what he started. Let us seal this understanding in our hearts. If you believe that God is building a palace out of your ruins, and if you are ready to let him knock down the old walls, I want you to leave a comment below. Type this declaration: "My palace is coming." Write it as a declaration of victory over the dust. Let the enemy hear that you are not mourning the cottage anymore. You are preparing for the palace. Chosen one, your words have power in the spirit. So go to the comments now and write, "My palace is coming." Let the construction continue. The king is moving in. Chosen one, I know you have reached the peak of your exhaustion. You are standing in the middle of a completely cleared site, and you have no energy left to hope. You look at the empty space where your dreams used to stand, and you feel the temptation to just walk away. You say, "Lord, it is too much. I cannot live in this construction site anymore. I cannot breathe in the dust of this transition." You want to settle for whatever is left. You want to go back to the ruins and try to glue the old cottage back together. I see you're fatigued, chosen one. The vine dresser sees it too. It is the hardest moment of the entire process, the moment right before the new structure begins to rise. But you cannot go back, chosen one. The old cottage is gone. And even if you tried to rebuild it, you would never be happy there again. You have outgrown it. Your spirit has tasted the air of the palace, even if you cannot see the walls yet. The collapse was not a tragedy. It was the beginning of the great exchange. God is exchanging your small comfort for his glorious destiny. He is exchanging your fragile safety for his unbreakable strength. To receive this, you must let go of the ruins, chosen one. You must stop clutching the broken bricks of the past. Open your hands. Let the old cottage go so that the palace can take its place. C.S. Lewis repeatedly returned to the central Christian pattern of surrender, death, and resurrection. He understood that our plans, our control, and the smaller dreams we protect must sometimes be released before God can raise something greater in their place. We often try to keep those plans alive through panic and striving, but genuine transformation requires surrender. The path to new life passes through the darkness of letting go. Chosen one, let that truth settle deeply within you. What we refuse to surrender cannot be raised into something new. Do you see what this means for your dead dreams, chosen one? For the relationships that ended? For the business that closed? For the plans that fell to the ground? If they did not go into the soil, they could never be raised in glory. The death of your comfort was not the end of your story. It was the prerequisite for your resurrection. So do not mourn the grave of your plans, chosen one. The dreams that died in your life had to die because they were cottage-sized dreams. They were built in your own strength, designed for your own comfort. If God had allowed them to succeed, you would have been trapped in a small life. But now they have gone into the ground. And when God resurrects them, they will not return as cottages. They will return as palaces. Your new relationships will be holy and strong. Your new career will be aligned with your eternal destiny. Your influence will carry the weight of His presence. The death was necessary, chosen one, so that the resurrection could be divine. Chosen one, I decree and declare over your life today, the season of burial is giving way to new life. The silence of the tomb is breaking. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is breathing upon the dry bones of your destiny right now. I call forth your purpose from the dust. I call forth your peace from the ruins. Rise up, chosen one. Shake the dust of the construction site from your clothes. You are not a victim of demolition. You are the heir to a palace. Let the dry bones rattle. Let the breath of God fill your lungs. The architect has spoken, and he says, live. Think of a seed buried deep in the dark soil. Chosen one. It is surrounded by cold, heavy dirt. It is completely silent. No one can see it. No one is celebrating it. To the world, the seed is lost. It is dead and buried. But inside the dark, the outer shell of the seed begins to tear. It hurts. The structure is breaking. It is losing its shape, its identity, and its comfort. But it is not destroying the seed. It is releasing the life inside. Without the breaking of the shell, the tree could never grow. You are that seed right now, chosen one. You feel the pressure of the dark. But the shell is breaking only to let the giant tree emerge. And when that shoot breaks through the surface of the soil, everything changes in a moment. Suddenly, what was hidden in the dark is visible in the light. The green leaves reach for the sun. The branches spread wide. The birds of the air come to find rest in its shadow. The waiting is vindicated, chosen one. The pain of the breaking is forgotten in the joy of the growth. That is what is about to happen in your life. The transition is ending. The emergence is beginning. You will step out of the quiet room into the light of your calling. And when people see the palace God has built, they will know that the silence was only the sound of His love. Chosen one, as we enter the quiet valley of resolution, let us lay our hearts upon the soft grass of His promises. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11, God speaks directly to His people while they are in exile, while they are in a strange land, wondering if their home will ever be rebuilt. He says to them, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Read that again in your spirit, chosen one. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. The vine-dresser did not prune you to harm you. The architect did not pull down the cottage to leave you homeless. He has a future for you, and it is already signed and sealed in heaven. Chosen one, look at the ground where your cottage used to stand. The rubble is being cleared away. The ground is flat and clean. And on this very ground, God is building an altar where you will testify of His faithfulness. The ruins of your past are not monuments of defeat. They are the raw materials for your future. You will look back at this silent season, chosen one, and you will realize that every closed door was a shield. Every loss was a promotion. Every tear was a drop of rain that watered the seeds of your destiny. Do not look back with regret. Look forward with anticipation. The future God has for you is not a repair of the past. It is a brand new creation. I want you to pray this prayer with me right now, chosen one. If you are able, speak these words out loud in the quiet room. If not, whisper them in your heart. Lord, I surrender the blueprint of my life to you. I let go of the cottage I tried to build in my own strength. I trust the blows of your hammer. I trust the silence of your construction. Forgive me for my impatience and for my fear. I believe that you are building a palace for your presence. I choose to rest under the shadow of your wings, knowing that you will complete the work you started. I am safe in your hands. Amen. Let that prayer wash over your soul, chosen one. Feel the release of your control. Chosen one, there is a deep rest that comes when you stop fighting the architect, when you stop trying to explain the silence, when you stop trying to force the doors open. You can finally sleep tonight. You can close your eyes and let the worries of the future fade away. The weight of your life is not on your shoulders. It is on the shoulders of the one who holds the stars in place. He is guarding the construction site while you sleep, chosen one. He is watching over the foundations of your destiny. You do not have to work through the night to build your own safety. Rest in the quietness. Rest in the knowing that the one who called you is faithful to perform it. Chosen one, I decree a permanent peace over your mind and your home today. Let the spirit of anxiety leave this room. Let the phantom noise of past battles fade into nothing. The Father is sealing the perimeter of your life. He is putting a hedge of protection around your family, your health, and your spirit. The enemy will not be allowed to touch the foundation of the palace. You have endured the silence, chosen one. You have passed the test of the dark. And now the peace of God, which surpasses all human understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. You are protected, you are loved, and your future is absolutely secure. Rest now, chosen one. The morning is coming. Chosen one, before we conclude this message, let us make one final declaration to seal this word in your heart. If you have stayed until the end and feel the certainty of this future in your spirit, I want you to write a final comment below. Type these words, "Only God knows." Write it as a declaration of your surrender. You are saying, "Lord, only you know the full plan, and that is enough for me. Only you know when the silence will end. Only you know how high the towers of my palace will reach." Let this comment be your signature on the blueprint, chosen one. Go to the comments and type, "Only God knows." If this message was a source of comfort to your spirit today, chosen one, I encourage you to join our family of believers here. Subscribe to C.S. Lewis Sermons. Turn on the notification bell so that you never miss a word. We post these messages weekly to nourish your soul during the quiet seasons, to remind you of who you are and who is building your life. By subscribing, you are choosing to feed your spirit rather than your fears. You are choosing to stay in the environment of faith, chosen one. So subscribe today and walk this journey of reconstruction with us. And remember, chosen one, you are not walking this path alone. Even when you feel isolated in your quiet room, there are thousands of chosen vessels around the world who are in the same silence. They are feeling the same demolition. They are weeping the same secret tears. We are a family of souls built by the same hand, chosen one. Your struggle is their struggle, and your victory will be their victory. So do not let the enemy convince you that you are forgotten. You are part of a worldwide community being formed by His presence. We are being built together stone by stone, branch by branch, into a glorious habitation for the King. Imagine the first light of dawn breaking over the horizon, chosen one. The dark sky turns to gold and amber. The shadows of the night disappear. As the light grows, you see it. The palace is standing there. The walls are high and strong. The gates are open wide. The ruins of the old cottage are completely gone, replaced by a structure of beauty and glory. You walk through the gates, chosen one. You feel the warmth of the sun on your face. You hear the sound of music and praise. This is the dawn that is coming to your life. The night was long, yes, but the morning will make sense of every silent hour. Chosen one, the morning is closer than you think. Hold steady. Trust the blows of the hammer. Trust the silence of the architect. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God the Father, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you now and forevermore. Go in peace, chosen one. The builder is at work, and all is well.